Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakrito Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhir Yajatraha Sthirairangai Shishtuvagam Sastanubhi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaha Swasti nastakshyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brahaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Please keep your videos on unless there's a problem of some kind. As it is, we are doing long distance classes, which is the second best. And if we can't see each other, then it becomes third best. We looked at that mantra, Om Ganapathi Namaha, and then the Gayatri of Ganapathi, Ekadantaya Vidmahi, Vakratundaya Dhimahi, Tanno Danti Prachodayat. A lot of this Upanishad is used for upasana, prayer, any form of upasana. And if we do that with understanding, it has that much more value. And as upasana, we pray to a form. And like we discussed, we assign the form. Typically, most devatas we assign the form to have 4 hands. I've been trying to find out why 4 hands. Somewhere I read it represents the 4 Purushartha, although that the author did not explain how the 4 hands can be 4 Purushartha. That is the reason why most devatas are shown having 4 hands. That prayer to the devata can give us all the 4 Purushartha: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. But typically you will find that every devata, or most devatas, will have some ayudha in their hand, some kind of weaponry. This is meant symbolically to vanquish the bhakta's enemies. Bhakta's enemies can be external or internal. In fact, most of the time, the enemies are internal. One's own ragadvesha, which keeps pulling us away from the Purushartha of Moksha toward the other 3 Purusharthas. So these weapons are supposed to be a means of protection by the Devata for the devotee. In the Rudram, when we chant, there's a lot of description of this. Of Lord Rudra with his bow and arrow. And you'll find when you read the commentary on it, it will also say the same thing. It is meant to keep away the ripuhu. Ripuhu, like I said, could be external in the form of any kind of vigna. Adi bhautika vigna or adi daivika vigna. Or it could be internal, our own making. So they will have some weapon. There are a few devatas we don't have weapons. Goddess Saraswati, for example, does not have any weapon. She only blesses for one with knowledge. Goddess Lakshmi also does not have weaponry. But generally, most devatas will have weapons. It's not necessary that only male forms will have weapons. We also have Goddess Durga, who has all kinds of weaponry. All meant to keep away that which prevents a person from going towards the only goal that a human can have. Even to know that that is the goal, there are a lot of obstacles, a lot of enemies. Even know that that is my goal. In fact, if you ask me, our first problem 99% of the time is we don't know what the goal is. We don't even make an effort to find out what the goal is. Generally, I'm not talking about this group. This group has already made an effort and made the effort to try and find out how to understand this goal called moksha. Generally, that is a problem. We don't know what the goal is. Even once we know what the goal is, there are enough to take us away from that goal in many forms, including in the form of doubts, uncertainties. All this looks good theoretically, but when I have to live my life, how can I drop everything else and pursue moksha? That's a doubt everybody has. Arjuna had the same doubt. Am I a loser by giving up all the gains I can make in this loka because I'm pursuing something which looks very ephemeral, far away, intangible? If I get an ice cream that I like, that is immediate, feelable pleasure. Moksha looks distant, even if it is correct. So you argue with yourself, the bird is one in hand is better than two in the bush. But when one does more and more Shravanam and Mananam, one understands that it has to be correct. There is no way of refuting that. Doubts persist, old habits persist, uncertainties persist. What if I keep doing that? In the process, I don't enjoy all these things that are available to me. and I don't get moksha. Don't gain that knowledge. Maybe there's knowledge to be gained and I don't get it. Or there is no such thing. It is only, as a lot of people will tell you, there's no such thing. You have to live for today. Enjoy what you get. Rinam krutva dhritam pibhet. How does it matter? You borrow. Before you have to pay back, you'll die anyway. Or you can run away to London if you're well equipped. So what's the problem? All these are enemies. Lord Ganesha also is described as having 4 hands. 2 of the hands carry a gourd. Gourd is what do you call it in Ankusham? That you use to control the elephant. Called a gourd. It's a sharp pointed instrument. They keep poking it in. And a snare. Those are the only instruments assigned to Lord Ganesha. The other 2 hands generally hold a tusk which is broken off. The story goes that he was writing Mahabharata, taking dictation from Vyasa. And the other hand, you will find in almost all devatas, one hand is in some form of blessing, protection, varadam, whatever the mudra is. Chin mudra, varada mudra, many mudras are there. They indicate, in this case, the varada mudra indicates that he is the giver of boons. We can pray for anything. Vidyarthi labhate vidyam, dhanarthi labhate dhanam, putrarthi labhate putran, moksharthi labhate gatam. Whatever you ask for, you can get, because that boon giving capacity is there. So this last verse in this gives a description of Lord Ganesha. Ekadantaya vidmahi, Ekadantam chaturhastam, Pashamankushadharinam, Radam chavaradam hastair, Vibranam mushakadhvajam, Raktam lambodaram surpakarnakam raktavasasam, Raktagandhanuliptangam raktapushpai supujitam, Bhaktanukampinam devam jagatkaranam achyutam, Avirbhutam chishishtyadav prakrite purushat param. Prakrite purushat param. The supreme Purusha. We divide the whole this thing in Prakriti and Purusha. That Prakriti is the creation, Mithya. And Purusha is Satyam. Lord Ganesha, Prakriti and Purusha. Because he is Jagatkaranam, Jagatkaranam Uchyate. The typical method that Vedanta uses is to first explain the Jagat, how the Jagat was created. Because we have to find a way of explaining away the Jagat. All we know when we start, is that I am in this Jagat, I am part of the Jagat, and whatever happens in the Jagat is real. That's how we start. It's exactly the way person seeing himself in the dream feels that entire thing that's happening is real. I am real. The enemy is real. The anger I feel in the dream is real. The hunger I feel in the dream is real. Like that we also feel. We are so sure. Although when we come out of the dream, we say, oh, thank God it's only a dream. This is real. But in the dream world is real. Here also we have this very strong conviction that everything is real. So first, a model is drawn and said this world came from that Jagat Karanam Brahma, Saguna Brahma. And because it came from the Jagat Karanam Brahma, who is both the Nimitta Karanam and Upadhana Karanam, this world is non-separate from the Brahman. And a lot of examples are given. That all the gold ornaments are nothing but gold. So all the Jagat, the multifarious things we see in the Jagat, with the tangible or intangible, is non-separate from Ishvara. So first we say, okay, this is how it came. We do an adhyaropa, a superimposition of the entire world on the Ishvara by saying it all came from Ishvara. Then we go to the next step in saying, because it came from Ishvara, Ishvara is the Karanam, this is only Karyam. Any Karyam is non-self-existent, it's dependent on the Karyam, on the Karanam. Therefore, we, having superimposed the entire Jagat on Ishvara, we say it is non-separate from Ishvara and therefore non-self-existing. In other words, we have negated the entire world. It is both real and unreal. That is why it is called Mithya Sat Asadbhyam Anirvachaniyam. It is neither Sat nor non-existent Asat. This method is called Adhyaropa Apavada. Here we've been seeing both all through. Mithya and Satyam, Mithya and Satyam, Mithya and Satyam. So from the Jagat Karanam Uchyate is said to be Jagat Karanam, who? Lord Ganesha. But he is Prakriti and Purusha, Purusha Param. He is manifest in all creations. Avirbhutam. Because it's Purushat Param. So here itself we can see that we're talking about the Jagat Karanam Brahma, which also we have to take one step back and say is nothing but there's only one Brahman. But before we come to this conclusion, we have to start with saying this is the form. Chaturhast, Ekadantam Chaturhastam. That form which has only one tusk. One tusk has been broken away for other uses. And Chaturhastam, 4 hands. And what are there in the 4 hands? Pasham and Ankusham. Snare and a goad in 2 hands. And Radam cha Varadam. The broken tusks that are there is ready for writing. and Varada Mudra. Vibranam Mushakadhvajam. Dhvaja is the flag. And in the flag is the symbol of a mouse. Lord Ganesha's Vahanam. All of them have a flag and have a particular image, which is representative of something else. Like Arjuna, called Kapidhvaja. He has a monkey form, Lord Hanuman, in his dhvaja, in his flag. It is said that throughout the war, Lord Hanuman was there supporting and helping Arjuna. And further description continues. Lambodaram, Lamba Udaram, big bellied, pot bellied. Shurpakarnakam, big maram-like ears. Whom we pray, we offer red flowers. Rakta pushpaisu pujitam. Puja is done using red flowers. Sometimes we also use white flowers, Shweta Gandham. And is anointed with red sandal paste. Rakta Gandhan Anuliptanga. And because he is Varadamurti, he also offers his grace to his bhaktas, to his devotees. Bhaktam Anukampitam. That Jagat Karanam Brahma we see in the form of Lord Ganesha. With that, the description is over. There's a verse which praises Lord Ganesha, as you would typically find in most of these. Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Nama Pramathapataye, Namaste Astu Lambodara, Ekadantaya, Vigna Vinashane, Shivasataye, Sri Varadamurtaye, Namo Namaha. I pray to the Lord Ganesha and the Lord of adjectives for the Lord Ganesha. Vratapataye. Pati means Lord. One who is the Lord of all beings. Vratapataye. To that Lord, I offer my namaskara. Ganapataye. The name itself, Ganapati. Gananam Pati. Of all the groups, human groups, Devata groups, all of them. Ganapataye, to that Ganapati. Vratapataye, to that Vratapati. Pramathapataye. Pramatha, or the attendants of Lord Shiva, his father. So, for all of them also, he is the Lord. He is the chief of all the attendants of Lord Shiva. And like once again, Lambodaraya, Ekadantaya, Vigna Vinashine. Lord Ganesha is considered the one who can remove destroy all vignas. That is why any work we start, we first start with a prayer to Lord Ganesha. When we were children, I know if children still follow this, every page in the notebook, we used to put what is called a Pulyarshui. It's a small prayer to Lord Ganesha. May there be no vignas in what I'm trying to do. We didn't know that at that time. We just told to do that, we did. It's like there is a boy called Prajnananda. Prajnananda, no, young fellow who beaten world chess champion Magnus Carlsen twice. So some interviewers asking him silly questions. Why do you wear this? He used to wear, he always in pictures you will see he's got vibhuti. Some interviewer asked him, what is the white mark on your forehead? Poor fellow, he didn't know what to say. He may be a great chess champion, but he didn't know what to say. He said, my mother asked me to do from beginning, I've been doing this. I don't know anything else. But this is what, when we used to write, the Pulyarshui also means same thing. We only later realized what this is. Vigna Vinashine. Shiva Sutaya. Again, to the son of Lord Shiva. Varada Murtaye. One who is the giver of boons. Varada Murti. To that, Lord Ganesha, who is a Vratapati, Ganapathi, Ramathapati, I offer my salutations. Namo Namaha. Om Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Nama Pramatapataye, Namaste Astilambodharaye, Kadantaya, Vigna Vinashine, Shiva Sutaya, Sri Varadamurtaye, Namo Namaha. With this, normally, the chanting is finished. When we do this puja, either here or in the temple, etc., it stops here. But like in every other prayer, there's always a phalastuti. Every prayer they say will produce this, will produce the other, etc. Even this Sankata Nashna Vinayaka Stotram, it says one who does this prayer will get whatever he wants. And so on. I don't know, sometimes I feel that because most of us don't have a clue about what we want, these phalastutis simply tell us that knowing that most people want little things like putra, dhanam, etc. Therefore, it says you will get whatever you want. Here also there is phalastuti. 3 or 4 verses are there. Etat, do you have that available in this? Can you put it on the screen? Etat atharvashirsham yaha adhite saha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who chants, one who studies this Atharvashirshopanishad becomes one with Brahman. He is Brahman, understands he is Brahman because a lot of jnanam in this. Saha sarva vignaihi na badhyate. All the vignas don't bother him. Because he is Vigna Vinashaka. Saha, they don't bother him. They don't badhyate. They don't torment him. They don't oppress him. Saha pancha mahapapat pramuchyate. Very interesting that we say that if we do this, all your papas are washed off. You go and take a dip in the Ganga, all your papas are washed off. So you go commit all the papas you want to commit, go take a dip in the Ganga. But it's more symbolic than anything else. Idea being that if somebody is chanting this, then it's unlikely that he will do papa karma. So even mahapapas, killing, eating animals and other livestock, infidelity, stealing, and company of people who are gamblers and other negative qualities, called mahapapa. That pancha mahapapa vimuchyate. Again, the idea is that if you are somebody seriously studying this Upanishad, in fact, any Upanishad, the chances are that the person will not commit any of these. Not superficially reading, but reading with understanding and clarity. Even in the Gita, there's a verse which says that one who understands me, Bhagavan says, even if he's a dushta, he's considered a sadhu. Not because a dushta is just because if you understand what Ishvara is, if you understand the aikyam between Ishvara and you, where is the question of doing any dushkarma? No chance. Like that, here also it says, Panchapapa pramuchyate. And then some detailing. Sayam adhiyanaha divaskritam papam nashayati. Again, the idea is that you should do this prayer morning and evening. For that, Saraswati says, for the person who does this adhyayanam in the evening, whatever papas you did during the day is gone. Sayam adhiyanaha. One who does the adhyayanam in the evening, divaskritam during the day, papam nashayati. The papa done during the day are destroyed. Similarly, having destroyed them, you get up in the morning and you do adhyayanam again. Prataha adhiyanaha rakritam papam nashayati. They say that most of the papa karma we do is after dusk. Tamasa. All that will also be destroyed. Again, it is not literal meaning. One should not take the literal meaning of that. It's only to say that you do this morning and evening. In fact, it says so as much. Sayam prataha prayunjanaha papo papo bhavati. One who does this morning and evening crosses boundaries of papa and punya. That means one who does this regularly can gain that state which is beyond dharma, papa, punya. Which is what Nachiketa asked Lord Dharmaraja in Upanishad. What is it that is beyond dharma, punya, papa? Sarvatra adhiyanaha, one who does it everywhere, all the time. Upavignaha bhavati, has no vignas. No vignas for what? One could say no vignas for anything you want. But by the time you do all this, you're already clear about what you want. Therefore, any vigna that is there in one's gaining this moksha is removed. But just to clarify, it says, dharmartha kama moksham cha vindati. Gain dharma, artha, kama and moksha. So this prayer done every day, all the time. One is contemplating upon this knowledge. Everywhere you see Ishvara in everything. And then you're able to see the aikyam between Ishvara and you. Then where's the question of any kind of papa? Where's the question of gaining anything in the loka? Everything is yours. Idam atharvashirsham ashishyaaya na deyam. Atharvashirsham ashishyaaya na deyam. In many places you will find, including the Gita, please don't give this knowledge to anybody who is an ashishya, who is not a shishya, who is not a serious student. Because you will only create more problems for him. The person not ready, don't try to teach this. This knowledge can only be gained when a person has readied himself or herself. There should be a certain level of adhikaritvam. Therefore it says, for any ashishya, do not give. And if you give, mohat, yadi mohat dasyati. Somebody gives because of moha, saha papiyan bhavati. And papiyan, it is not that you create one more papa. No, these things should not be taken literally. You create additional problems for this person. Say you have a karmata and who is doing all that the Vedas tell him to do, but he doesn't understand moksha. If you tell him that all this is not moksha, he will not agree. In fact, if you tell him, when you give all the logic and everything else, he will be more confused. Let him do the karma, let him earn sufficient punya and get ready, then you give him this knowledge. Therefore, it says, Raha papiyan bhavati. Something looks unconnected. Sahastra avartanat yam yam kamam adhite tam tam anena sadhayete. It is a repeat of what was said in the previous mantra. There is something called Purascharana. Every mantra, if you repeat with knowledge, with understanding, certain number of times, called Purascharana. For example, Gayatri mantra, which is a 24 mantra, one should do it minimum of 24 lakh times. To complete one Purascharana. When a person is given Upanayinam, it is the father who gives the mantra, Namopatesam. But the father must be qualified, no? Otherwise, how is he going to give the mantra? To qualify, the father must have done Gayatri mantra some crore times. We had a neighbor in Bangalore and we were talking about this, and he was ready to give his 2 sons Upanayinam, I think the following year or so. When he learned this, he seriously started doing Gayatri mantra. Whenever he got a window, he started doing Gayatri mantra. saying, I must give this to my sons, and I must be qualified to give. Otherwise, I can't. So this is, it says, Sahastra Avartanat. You repeat it thousands of times. Yam yam kamam adhite tam tam anena sadhayet. Whatever one wishes for, one gains. So if one is looking at dharma, artha, kama, one gains that. One looking at moksha, one gains that also. Anena Ganapatim Abhishinchati Sa Vagmi Bhavati. This mantra, if you repeat enough number of times, Vagmi is greater. You become your flow of speaking becomes that much better. Chaturtham Anashnan Japati Sa Vidvan Bhavati. Chaturthi Aniki, on the fourth day of the moon, he takes a vratam, Anashnan. He fasts and does japa. He can gain even greater benefit, will become a vidwan. Iti atharvana vakyam. It is what said Atharvana has said. Brahmad avarnam vidyat na bhibeti kadachaneti. A person who understands there is only one, and that one is I, is never subject to fear. How can you be subject to fear if there is what can you be fearful of? Only if there's something else. No? Whatever happened in the dream world, which was a nightmare, is fearful in the dream. But when you wake up, what do you say? Thank God it was only a nightmare. One who understands that the entire Swapna Prapancham is nothing but the projection from one single thing, which is the dreamer's knowledge. What happens to the fear? The fear goes. There's no fear. Nothing like that. Once a person understands, I am Purnaha, Brahmosmi, Aham Brahmosmi. Where's the question of fear? No fear. Na bhibeti kadachaneti, never subject to fear. Some instruction about how to do this. Yaha durvang puraihi yajati saha vaishravanaha upamo bhavati. Vaishravana is Kubera. One who does this puja using blades of tender grass. This is what is often used for Ganapathi Puja. Not just a physical act. Remember, in all this, repeatedly, don't look at the literal meaning. One who does this, we already said, does Purashcharanam with clarity and understanding. And with also the karma of, kaika karma of actually using a blades of tender grass. Such a person is equivalent to Kubera. Kubera is the lord of everything. Whatever you want, Kubera gives you. You heard of Kubera Patram. Everything's available. Similarly, the other thing that we used in the puja for Lord Ganesha is puffed rice. Yaha lajaihi yajati. Using puffed rice, one who does puja, yaha yashovan bhavati. He becomes yashasvi, famous. People respect him. And these also say saha medhavan bhavati. Medha is one of that intellect which is able to see, which has the medha shakti, to see the simple fact of the aikyam between Jivatma and Paramatma, of meaning of Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So he is Medhavan, because you understand. When you do all this, one understands. So Medhavan Bhavati. And the other thing that we all use for puja to Lord Ganesha is Modakam. Korakai. So yaha Modaka Sahastrena Yajati. Saha Vanchita Phalam Avapnoti. We will gain everything that he wants. Again, must interpret it correctly. The assumption by this time is that the person has understood moksha as what he wants. Therefore, he will gain that. In the process, we also want ice cream, we'll get that. Vanchita phalam avapnoti. Yas sajya samidbhihi yajati sarvam labhate. One who uses samit. Samit is dried twigs used for yajna. These are not normally broken from the tree. These are picked from what has fallen down. They are supposed to be dry because they're going to be put in the fire. So a person, so these are more processed than anything else. Blades of grass, puffed rice, modaka, samit. These are what are used normally for doing puja to Lord Ganesha. So, yes, sajya samit bihi, using samit, yajati, sarvam labhate, gains everything. If you gain the understanding that you are Purnaha, there's nothing more to gain. How are we going to add to that? You are Purnaha. Nothing more to add to that. And Sasarvam Labhate. Twice it is said to indicate the end of the Upanishad. Only one more verse after that. Ashtau Brahmanan Samyak Grahitva Surya Varchasi Bhavati. This 8 is a very auspicious number. You know, even in China, it's supposed to be the auspicious number. People fight for getting a number plate with a lot of 8s in that. In China. We also consider 8 a very auspicious number. One who Ashtau Brahmanan Samyak Grahitva, having taught 8 Brahmana. Brahmana here doesn't mean the Varna. It only means a person who is ready, who wants to know Brahman. Such a person, 8 such people, one who teaches this. Saha Surya Varchasi Bhavati, gains the luminance of Surya. Surya Grahe Mahanadhya Pratima Sannidhau Va Japtva Siddha Mantro Bhavati. You can gain the full benefit of this mantra if you pray at the time of the eclipse of the sun. Surya Grahani. Surya Grahi. Where do you do this? Mahanadhyam. At the bank of a Mahanadi, Ganges, Yamuna, Kaveri, whatever. Pratima Sannidhau, having a Pratima of Lord Ganesha, either here or in front of a Pratima Sannidhau Va, either at the bank of a great river or in front of the Swami G, I live in a place which has no river. What do I do? So we just give a pratima and do the same puja. Japtva siddha mantro bhavati. Gets a full benefit of this mantra. Now you know why this is used in every temple in front of the murti. Why we do this every day in Arshavidyalaya. Not for the benefit of the person who is doing the puja, but for the benefit of entire humanity. Mahavidvan pramuchyate, Mahadoshat pramuchyate, Mahavignan pramuchyate, Mahadoshat pramuchyate. No vignas for him to gain whatever. All papas already said been washed off. Sarvavid bhavati. This is the very important sentence here. Sarvavit means what? The one who knows everything. Oh, in the world generally, we will not accept that there's anybody who knows everything. But if you know that everything is nothing but Parmeshwara, and if you know that that Parmeshwara is I, and there's the only thing, there's nothing else, you know everything. That's the only way. Otherwise, to say that somebody knows everything, nobody will accept. It's illogical. Sarvavit bhavati. Sarvavit bhavati, to repeat it, to say that that is all that is there. One becomes knowledgeable about everything, knowing which it is as though nothing else is to be known. You can't turn around and say, does he know Swahili? He may not know Swahili. But he is a Sarvavit, where there is no need to know anything else. Yeah, evam veda ityupanishad. May you know thus. This is the Upanishad. It is not considered by many as a primary Upanishad. But like any other Upanishad, one who studies this with understanding can gain that Vidya, knowledge, and is therefore called Upanishad because it unfolds the truth of Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam, the oneness, Ekameva Advitiya Brahman Tat Brahma Sa Atma, I am that. With that, we come to the end of this Upanishad. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.